I think I might have found my new favorite plugin compressor for vocals. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixFest TV. Hope you're having a great day. Before we start, please check the info box down below for mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy, free plugin special discounts and offers, and of course, if you really want to learn how to mix and master professionally, click the join button down here, become a MixFest TV member, access the already big and always growing library of full mixing courses on many different genres, mastering courses, and a lot more. And if the videos are helping you, please consider using the super thanks new feature down here and support the channel. Let's get to the video. All right, I'll admit it, I am most certainly late to the party for this one, but for some reason I never got around this plugin, even though I know well the hardware. My buddy Chris has one, I worked with him many times, and I love the hardware. But I recently inherited a Pro Tools session from one of my clients that I had to mix, and he had several instances on the rough mix of the Softtube TubeTech CL1B MK2. He also had the full channel and the TubeTech EQs in the session, so I said, you know what? Time to get it. And as soon as I opened it and I saw the GUI, even without running audio through it, I kind of slapped myself in the head and said, like, really, why you didn't get it earlier? You love the hardware and you know Softtube makes great stuff. I actually had tried many years ago the MK1, the first version, when Softtube came out with the CL1B compressor, which I think was one of the first plugins that really put them on the map. And that was a good plugin, but the MK2, man, this thing is something different. First of all, if you're not familiar with the TubeTech CL1B, it's an absolute industry standard, up there with LA2A and 1176. The CL1B is, without any shadow of a doubt, probably the most used compressor on vocals in the modern music. The list of top tier artists that use this compressor on vocals, starting from Drake, is a mile long. The CL1B is a full tube, no compromise opto compressor with extended fully variable controls, ratio from 2 to 10, fully variable attack and fully variable release, with options for manual settings for attack and release, fixed and fixed plus manual. The Softtube version, as always happens with their plugins, has extra features that make it even more versatile, like parallel compression knob and also low cut. The GUI is resizable, as you can see here. And also we have the usual Softtube hidden panels on the left for the output, the headroom right here, and high pass and phase invert and shift, and also an input panel on the left. Regardless of the result of what could be a one-to-one comparison with the hardware, this plugin I feel really capture the essence and the vibe and the sound and the action of the original unit. So much so that even if it's not a new product, I decided to make the video. Now I can't play my client session because I'm still working on it and it's not released yet. So I opened an old mix that I did, I think last year, for Izzy T and her all-star band with Brooke Colucci at the drum, Alice Lane at the bass, and I don't remember the guitarist, please forgive me. But yeah, the song is a cover of Midnight Sky. Izzy T is being released, I think, last year, and actually shout out to Izzy. She released I think last week, her new single called On My Mind, which I mastered, so go check it out. And for the original mix, I had my distressors on her voice, on lead vocals, and also the Fatso and some other things like the Mag EQ. For this video, I just removed my hardware, so the mix that you're gonna hear right now is not the final mix, but it's fine for the video. Now I have 4 instances of the CL1B, all of them on her lead vocals, so I'm gonna open them all. Even though they don't play at the same time, I'm gonna try to stack them here so you can see when they work. And then we'll talk about the settings and I will give you a couple of tricks with this. For now, simply pay attention to how her voice without these compressors on would be way too dynamic. We lose her in the low passages and will be way too loud on the high passages. But also pay attention, and that's the essence of the TubeTech CL1B, to how it doesn't dual the top end or the mid-range. It doesn't have that choking feeling that many compressors have, even hardware. I'm gonna bypass and unbypass them, so pay attention to my moves. We start without it.
She got her hair pulled back 'cause the sweat's dripping off of her face. I said it ain't so bad if I wanna make a couple mistakes, yeah. You should know right now that I never stay put in one place forever and ever, no more. The midnight sky is the road I'm taking. Head high up in the clouds. Oh, I was born to run. I don't belong to anyone. I know. Don't need to be loved by
Okay, aside from the fact that Izzy has an amazing voice, I think there's a couple of spots that we can really dig in and appreciate how well this compressor sound. I think the first part is the verse with this particular bit here, okay? So even if we look at the waveform, it's very, very dynamic. Without the compressor, it sounds like this.
You should know right now that I never stay but in one place. Forever and ever, no more.
All right, you can hear we lose way too much level in the low parts, right? This is how it sounds with the compressor on.
You should know right now that I never stay but in one place. Forever and ever, no more.
Now this gets me excited because a dynamic performance like this, you usually need at least a couple of compressors to do this. And the Tube Tech does it with so much ease. And not only that, but you hear the quality of the mid-range and the intelligibility on the top end. That's pretty impressive. Either you use a plugin or a piece of hardware. Let's do that again, without and with.
You should know right now that I never stay but in one place. Forever and ever, no more. You should know right now that I never stay but in one place. Forever and ever, no more.
It's just beautiful how, especially in this part here, right? This word,
Endeavor.
right? And ever. Listen to just this passage without it.
Forever and ever, no more.
With
Forever and ever, no more.
it feels like she stepped in closer to the mic, and the first word is not as wild. And this is just not controlling the dynamic. It's the tone of the compressor. It's this magic that it has on the high, mid, and mid range that just makes the vocal more intelligible, okay? Let's go into this passage without first.
The midnight sky is the road I'm taking.
I'm gonna stop there with.
The midnight sky is the road I'm taking. The midnight sky is the road I'm taking. The midnight sky is the road I'm taking.
And if you're wondering, the peak level is lower with the compressor than without. Yeah, it sounds louder and more upfront, okay? I think the beauty of the CL1B, the hardware and the plugin, because this is a pretty impressive emulation. I had this feeling before with Soft2 plugin with the Chandler Germanium. I think the CL1B, the design, the internal sidechain, the way the compressor acts, you know when you set the threshold so the compressor only reacts to the tall peaks, right? Many compressors kind of still touch the low-end information, and that's why I think it's so loved for vocals, because it has something about how it brings up the low-level information that I think no other compressor has. Let's go to the full passage when she goes high, with and without first.
The midnight sky is the road I'm taking. Head high up in the clouds.
Okay, we go from way too low to a little too high.
The midnight sky is the road I'm taking. Head high up in the clouds. I was born to run.
And that squeeze, that 10 dB of compression, not many compressors can do that this well. I'm gonna solo this.
The midnight sky is the road I'm taking. Head high up in the clouds.
I'm compressing 10 dB, and it's as natural as it gets. But also take a look at my settings, and actually we will compare the verse versus the chorus, because I'm giving you a trick with this compressor here. So this is the verse and this is the chorus. If you take a look at the settings, you can see that I have my ratio the same, and this is kind of my favorite ratio for the CL1B, so it's 2, the lowest that you can get. But in the verses, I have a faster attack and a kind of slowish release, while in the hook I have a slower attack and a faster release. This is a trick that you can apply to any song or any compressor, really. I am, so to speak, kind of choking the verses a little bit compared to the hooks with the fast attack, and have the compressor be a little more mellow with the release, slower release, so I have the impact when I switch to the other compressor that has a slower attack, so the transient pass and the vocals becomes more punchy for the hook. and a faster release, so it's more jumpy and it reacts and is more alive. This makes a difference in impact and how we perceive the vocals on the hook. We perceive the vocals on the hook more energetic and more powerful, okay? Let's listen to going from the verse to the hook.
Midnight sky is the road I'm taking. Head high up in the clouds. Oh, I was born to run. I don't belong to anyone. Oh no, don't need to be loved by you. Fire in my lungs can bite the devil on my tongue. Oh no, don't need to be loved by you.
Again, it sounds so great to me. Now look at this waveform. Let's switch to waveform. That's my volume automation, okay? It's pretty dynamic. Take a look at the gain reduction here.
I was born to run, I don't belong to anyone. Oh no, don't need to be loved by you. Fire in my lungs can bite the devil on my tongue. Oh no, don't need to be loved by you.
Okay, you can clearly hear those words where it just doesn't pick anything up. I just think no other compressor really reacts like the CL1B, and it just sounds great. Let's hear it in context again.
I was born to run, I don't belong to anyone. Oh no, don't need to be loved by you. Fire in my lungs can bite the devil on my tongue. Oh no, don't need to be loved by you.
This passage here without.
Fire in my lungs can bite the devil on my tongue. Oh no, fire in my lungs can bite the devil on my tongue. Oh no.
And this is another good spot where we can take a look at the action of the compressor. You can see for this third part after the solo, I have an even slower attack and an even slower release. So again, I want the compressor to be a little more jumpy than the part before, so we have a progression throughout the song, okay? Again, did you see it here? And I repeat, the peak level is lower with the compressor on. For this part here, the first second part of this pre-chorus, the compressor doesn't even work at all, okay? All that part, it doesn't even trigger the threshold because we have a little bit of makeup gain, and the color of the unit, that part is louder and it's got more intelligibility. I am using this at 2.1 ratio, and yet you see how much it swings. It goes to 7-8 dB of peak reduction, and that's exactly what I was talking about the knee of this compressor, okay? It just pins down those tall peaks, but it does it in a very natural way.
That I was born to run, I don't belong to anyone. You know, I don't need to be loved by.
I think the last part, more than the other, is gonna be eye-opening without it. I think this is one of the things that makes engineering music like exciting and fun. Look how precise this compressor is on this first screen that she does. Look how the gain reduction follows the natural dynamic of it. If we look at the waveform, it really follows the energy, the natural energy. It goes down at first, probably 6-7 dB of compression, then it backs off a little bit, goes back again, and it let go of the ending when she does the modulation. Listen to it and look at the gain reduction. Now listen to it without. You completely lose the end of it, right? And that sheen at the top end, it's great. But even more impressive, I think, is this part. The power that this compressor adds and the clarity that it adds is something different. It's so reactive without it. What can I say? The energy that this compressor adds on vocal and the way it handles dynamic to the point that I would probably need 2 compressors to do the same job, especially in the box. It's pretty mind-blowing. And I said it, I'm late to the party, but if you too are late to the party, you're gonna thank me for this video, because this compressor definitely needs to be in the arsenal. Anyway, this is it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Maybe you already knew it, you already had it, or you just discovered it for this video. If you like the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if the videos are helping you, please consider using the super thank you feature down here and support the channel. Links to SoftTube tube techs are gonna be in the info box down below. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.